What's up, everybody? It's your girl Q1, and I am back with the with the finale of Ready to Love, season 11, episode 12, the Detroit finale. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure y'all like the videos so I can stay in the algorithm. Tomorrow, don't forget, I am going to go live on my very first segment called Life Unscripted, where, you guys are going to get to know me on a more personal level. So yeah, it's just come in. It won't be long. Just kind of come in and join. If not, just, check out the replay. Also, if you go around to the Black Girls Den podcast, she's actually doing a live at this moment. I think she may be done, but check out the replay on her live. I just finished doing a live with Watch Your Mouth Reviews and Mrs. Best. We were actually reviewing Love After Lockup. And then last night, to catch the replay of myself and my cousin doing our Healing Out Loud segment. So yeah, just been kind of busy, okay? And people, just run up everybody's stuff. Also, I want to shout out everybody and thank everybody for hopping on the live last night. Sandra P. Jen's Extra, check out her live. Shayna, check out her live. I am Laura Chanel. Not her live. Check out their and subscribe over to their channels as well. So yeah, y'all, it's been a whole treat, okay? So Ready to Love, cause yeah. Anyway, so all of the singles are meeting up for lunch for the last brunch. Meeting up for the last brunch. Dom, Ashley, Ashanti, Donna, Vince, Bello, and Darius, of course. Ashanti thinks that her and Bello could have something, but it's obvious that Dom is his top connect. She said that her connect with Darius is growing, and she low-key think because him and Ashley aren't on the best terms, so that's why she feel like their connection is growing. Not because it's good, but she don't think it's as genuine. So she have questions. So Bella said in his confessional, he claimed that letting go Lauren was hard, but he realized he has to make his final decision. And I was like, okay, Bello. Anyway, Tommy comes in. He tells the men that they have to meet the ladies' family. And at the end of the week, everybody got to head to the bridge / the park to hear the Ready to Love theme song, okay? Which I have prepared at the end of this episode, at the end of this review, okay? So anyway, everybody's sitting down, partaking in brunch. Dom asked if they will do this experience again. Darius was like, no. Vince asked why. Darius said because it was hard juggling 10 people. Vince said, well, you didn't have to juggle all 10 people at the same time. Darius said it was requested and asked to reach out to all 10 people, but overall it was such a beautiful experience. And Vince said that you wouldn't do again. I was like, okay. So then at this moment, they get to tussling because Vince is on his stance about things being a safe space, and they get to tussling because he felt like Darius didn't understand the question that Dominique asked. So Darius was like, I did understand, I got it. And it was just like a whole male ego thing. Anyway, Vince asked, what are some things that everybody heard in the lounge about themselves that they actually wasn't supposed to know, that was actually surprising, which I feel like another moment where Vince decides he wants to be messy. All right. So Ashley said, because Cardi said that Ashley was a foodie call, and she said that she indeed liked being a foodie call, and it's better than being a foodie call than to be the booty call, okay? So Vince said he understood why the directive was given not to speak in between lounges, because that was said in a way it was supposed to be in confidence, and it was supposed to be where somebody had a safe space to say something. So you're telling us that you calling Lauren the B word was you having a safe space? Was that, are you still feeling away because somebody related to Lauren that you call her the B word? I don't know. I don't know if that's what is given to me. I don't know. But hey, so it is what it is. So Ashley was like, listen, a lot of stuff was said, and basically both lounges wasn't really a safe space because everything was already put out there. So Darius pipes up and said, I didn't, he said, I didn't say it now, so let's continue. So he was like, Bello, what's your story? So Vince was like, in his confessional, he was like, he felt like Darius was the one who told Ashley what Cardi had said about her being a foodie call. He said because Darius was all riled up. And he could have, but again, you never know. But it did seem like he did tell Ashley that. And it's like, at the end of the day, like Ashley said, none of this was a safe space. None of it. It never is. Go back to watch all your Ready to Loves and how everybody put everything out there. So at this point, Darius is still trying to continue the conversation of what was surprising to everyone. And Vince was like, we're not moving forward while I'm talking. And Darius said, I heard all the things you said about me with your slick ass mouth. And sometimes you need to shut the fuck up sometimes. Okay, just shut up. And so Darius then tells Vince, I had three women come to me and say that you was jealous of me. I was like, oh, they said, who said that? Okay. So Bello kind of lightened the mood. He was like, listen, the purpose of this whole thing was to find love and not to gossip. So he kind of got the men calmed down. And Ashley felt like Darius was protecting her because Vince was over there snitching. So now the men have to meet the parents. So Dom, her parents, they met Bello. Before Bello arrived, she let them know that Bello was a Muslim. Her dad was like, I'm a Christian her dad is a Christian and a pastor, and he ain't really going for that. Okay? So Bello arrives. So before we can get a conversation with them, we pan over to Ashley, her brother, and Darius. So when Darius arrived, it was how that brother was like looking at Darius like, you ain't shit. Okay, that's how I thought. And so we start with questions. So he asked Darius, what do you love about Ashley? So Darius was like, I love her heart. And I'm like, okay. So then we get back over to Dom and Bello in the Parentals. And so they wanted to know, what did he do for a living? And we heard that you were a Muslim. And the daddy said, listen, this is my first time I heard of that. And I have some concerns. And I'm like, why? But whatever. So Darius, back over to Darius and Ashley. He asked him another question, and Darius kept repeating about communication and style, and the way the brother was looking at him like, mm-hmm. And so Ashley was like, in her confessional, my communication is fine. It's your communication that really we need to be working on. And, all right, that's why they're having trouble at, and I think that was the actual question where, what was the thing that was causing a little issue, a little brewing in a little situation, and it's communication. I was like, oh my God, he said it like 4 times. So we get back to Dom and her family, and that daddy was like, listen, I need to pray about it. And Dominique was like, I mean, you can go ahead and pray about it, but I'm a grown woman and I can make my own decisions. She didn't say that to her dad. She said that in her confessional. Okay. So then we get to Ashley and her brother. He said he felt like Darius tiptoe around his questions, and Ashley always have been questioning Darius's motive. Okay. So then we get to Donna, her brother and cousin. They are both meeting Vince. All right. So Vince walked in on them having that timeline discussion once again. And I'm just over this timeline discussion, and I feel like Donna needs to just throw it away and just kind of, go with the flow. And if you don't see anything that you're liking, and if it doesn't align with the things that you want, then yeah, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Like, you cannot force anybody. You cannot put anybody on a timeline. Okay? It's just the way it is. You wouldn't want, if the shoe was on the other foot, she wouldn't want nobody to do the same thing to her. And it feels often like a rush. I'm not rushing to go marry or have a baby. If you want a baby, go have a baby. You can always have a baby. Like, there are plenty kids out there that need adopting, and you don't even have to be married. So anyway, he said that this, he felt like it was ironic that he walked up on that, because that's the thing that they both are actually struggling with. So the cousin and the brother, they're just joking, just oddly joking. And the way Vince was looking, it was just like, he looked like he was out of place, and he looked as though like, this is odd. So they have the discussion about the timeline. At this point, I am sick of this timeline, okay? So that cousin was saying that there should be some sort of a timeline, because we can, if there is no timeline, if there is no cap off, then we can just 10 or 20 years have passed by. There is no marriage. There is no baby. We're just going through the motion. So I kind of get what the cousin was saying from that aspect. But this is where things, the whole, what do I call it? The equally yoked thing. If you want to be married and he wants to be married, then yeah. If there is, after a certain amount of years and there is no engagement, then yeah, you have to do what you need to do. Be with somebody who actually want the same thing. That's how I feel. Be with somebody who actually want the same thing. If you're with somebody who's struggling to want to be married or struggle to want to have kids, then that person is not right for you. For me, you cannot come to me and say, well, Erica, I want you to have a baby, because I am 43. I am not having, nor will I ever push out any baby for anybody. No way, no how. Not at all. I have already got that done. So I'm not having no baby. So a man who wants babies is not the man for me. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, Ashanti, her mom and her stepdad is meeting Bello and Darius at the same time. So we find out that Darius is 41, and Mama was like, I could be tripping, y'all, but I think I heard that Mama say he my age. I was like, Mama, you 41? Okay. I don't know. But the stepdaddy asked Darius, listen, are you here for a good time or a long time? Because if you here for a good time, you can go ahead and roll on out. Okay, she needs somebody for longevity. Okay, she don't need no wham bam, thank you, ma'am, sir, thank you. All right. He claimed he was there for the long haul because he wanted love, and I don't believe that he is looking for love. Okay, but whatever. I just want to point out also how beautiful Ashanti looked while she had, when she was having that dinner. It was just, her whole face card is just never declines, ever, and I mean ever. Anyway, Bello joins them, and Mama asked Bello if he had kids, and is he ready for a kid. So he was like, I have one kid. So they have that discussion about his kid being out of town, and she's 14 or 15 months. And then at some moment we saw him gasping on that inhaler pump, and I was like, is you nervous? Okay. And then the mom asked both of them, where do y'all see yourself in 3 years? So, of course, Darius gave an answer that is liking, that he know that's going to be liking to the mother and to Ashanti. Okay? Bello said he going to be building houses. Okay? I don't think that answer was for this particular question. But, hey, if that was his truth, listen, I'm going to be building houses. So, if it was as though you don't have time for love, and I do feel like low key he like sabotaged that low key. I don't know. I feel like Bello is a smart man, and I feel like when he went to go meet Dom's parents, you said those things that you wanted to say and that you needed to say. to get their approval for Dominique. For this, I don't feel like you put in any effort. And I'm with Ashanti. I feel like all of that bravado that they had, all of that energy that they had, they lost it somewhere along the way. But it wasn't at the dinner with her and her parents. So anyway, her mama was like, listen, So the daddy was like, listen, I kind of like Darius for you. That mom was like, That's what that mama was thinking. And I was with that mama. All right. So Tommy comes along and we get the whole, what everybody been through to get to their love process. And y'all, we see Richie. I think that was his name. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. I was like, oh. So I'm hoping they dedicate something to him at this reunion. Hopefully, y'all. Hopefully. But anyway, we are now at the Ready to Love Bridge / park. Okay. Here we go. So Bello, Ashanti, and Darius, just to kind of go through it, Ashanti decided she choose me. I choose me, Lucius. Okay, I don't choose you. I choose me. So she gave them this whole little speech on why she decided she didn't want to choose them. Listen, at the end of the day, she felt like a placeholder. And I had been saying that. I felt like Ashanti was always the fail-safe. Kind of like Shannon. They were all fail-safes, even Lauren. Just in case their number one didn't work out. So, yeah, she chose her. She let them go. She left her in her white boots. Okay? And she went on to wherever she was going. Okay? So, we get Vince and Donna. Vince chooses Donna. All right, we get Darius and Ashley. Ashley said to herself, you need to put yourself first. No matter how he feels, don't think about how it could affect him. So as Darius is giving his speech, Ashley is crying, but he decided, hey, I choose you because, of course, never mind. I'm going to just let it go. So yeah, he chose her. So then we get to Dom and Bello. Of course, Bello chose Dom. We already knew that. And so we get over to Ashley and Darius. She tells him she did all of this work and she didn't want to fall back because she felt like in some ways he was trying to correct some things that she had already worked on. And she was just crying. Okay, she did a whole lot, and I do understand that. You always have that one faithful. Okay. Shout out to you. Even though I don't, me and Old Faithful is no more. But I will say this: when you start to change, personally for me, I started to change. I started to grow. I started to go to therapy, and that was my very first therapy, like real therapy, in like 2020 going into 2021. And so, when Old Faithful came back, I was like, ooh, I never seen all that. So there were things that I've actually was able to open my eyes and see. And because of that, and then in 2022, I really started to learn boundaries. Like 2021, 2022, I really started to learn boundaries. So yeah, I was like, I feel that, Ashley. Okay. So because of that, I steered away from a lot of things that no longer is serving to me. And if this is you, if you're struggling with this, I hope that you learn to choose you. I'm always going to tell a person to choose them, because at the end of the day, you don't want to end up heartbroken, or just hurt. So yeah, choose you, choose y'all. Okay. So anyway, Dominique said God told her that her man was there and she chose Bello, and I'm looking at them like they definitely hunched. I know they did. Anyway, Donna decided she wanted to choose Vince, and they skip away, and him in his red suit, they just skipping and hopping and skipping. Okay. So Ashley is still crying because, again, I understand where Ashley was coming from. Darius tell her, he see her and he still wanted to get to know her more. And she actually decided to choose Darius when I actually thought, when she was crying, I thought she was going to say, I choose me. I did not see that coming. I didn't see that coming. All right. So here we go. The music start to play. We get the Ready to Love song. Okay. I know it took me some time to get to a place that you wanted me to be. Now I'm ready. I'm ready to love. But it was never to you. I just needed time to work on me because I'm ready. I'm ready to love. And that's how it went off. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so next week, I'm sorry y'all, next week we about to get this reunion. I don't know what went down between Bello and Dom, but they was sitting like this as per usual. You did all of that capping, all of that my man going back and forth with Miss Lauren, okay, to sit here and be here. No ma'am Pam. Okay, I will get there when we get there. It didn't look interesting. I don't know if this was going to be one part or two. I really hope just one part. About an hour and a half long. I didn't pay attention to whether or not it was going to be an hour. I mean, it was going to be 2 parts. But yeah. Catch me next week at the reunion. Okay. Anyway, this is your girl Kiwan reminding you to, what do I always say? This is your girl Kiwan reminding you to always show up. Child, y'all know I done forgot my whole line. Let me get my line. Okay, this is your girl Kiwan asking you to keep reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I'll see you in the next video, and I'll remember this in the next video. So yeah, bye.